Hey everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is Search Buzz Video Recap. Today is Friday, October 11th. We got a lot to talk to you about. The 5 main things are these things right here. Google says there's no EAT score. Content accuracy ranking factor. Google says there is one. A month ago they said there is none. Bing has a new content submission API that's under their testing right now. The Search Console released new video reports, which are just amazing. And Google said you really can't rent out EAT specialists. It doesn't work that way. Plus a lot more, so stay tuned. Before we start, this video is sponsored by RankRanger, an all-in-one SEO platform that offers dozens of customizable reports. Check them out at rankranger.com. The first thing I want you to know is that I posted the big Google Webmaster report. I post this monthly. It covers the main things that happened over the past month related to Google SEO and Webmaster related topics. So definitely take a look at that. If you were gone the past month or you just want a refresher, check it out. I posted it on October 7th. So this morning I posted that Google's Gary from Google basically said we do not have an EAT score. In the SEO community, there's been some speculation around Google potentially having a score they assign to your website saying this site has a great EAT, this site has a bad EAT, or maybe that each individual E versus letter in the EAT has a score, like E is rated this, A is rated that, and it's not true. Google's EAT is just something written in the Google Quality Guidelines, Google Quality Rater Guidelines, and there is no specific score assigned to your website for that. You can definitely take a look at all the different tweets. This is something that Gary said at PubCon. In short, Google has many algorithms in their core algorithms that determine multiple signals that kind of say, all right, this is what makes a great quality website for this type of relevant keyword topic. It's not specific to EAT scores, but they have many algorithms that figure this stuff out. So there is not one specific score for that. Talking about EAT, Google also said you can't basically go ahead and rent out a specialist or an expert with a name to kind of improve your EAT. Danny Sullivan said it doesn't work that way. You're not going to go ahead and be able to rent out this doctor to go ahead and write this content or put a stamp of approval of their content on your website. It just doesn't work that way. He explained it going on and on. It's basically you just can't do that. You can't rent out EATs or authors for your website, and then Google's going to go, oh, this guy's writing on this website. Of course, this site should do better. Just doesn't work that way. Google said someday machine-written content will be okay within Google's Webmaster Guidelines. He said, John Muller went in a video answered this, but basically he said, when you read certain content that's generated by machines, even today, it's somewhat hard to distinguish between the machine-written content and the human-written content. And that's just going to get better over time. So Google's guidelines around automated generated content will have to change as machines get better at writing useful and accurate and useful information for users, so relevant information. So just keep that in mind. It's not happening today, but it might happen in the future. Talking about content, a month ago, Danny Sullivan from Google said that Google algorithms cannot determine the accuracy of content. And now you have Gary, who was on stage yesterday, saying that content accuracy, yes, is a ranking factor, specifically when it comes to YMYL. And Danny Sullivan, here's the tweet from Danny Sullivan a while back, which I covered. Machines can't tell the accuracy of content. Our systems rely on signals we find to align with the relevancy of topic and authority. But regarding content accuracy, no, machines don't know that. Whereas Gary's saying, yes, it does. And of course, they're probably talking about two different things here, but messaging is important here. Another thing is, in terms of Google somewhat contradicting themselves, is that Gary from Google said yesterday that some algorithms may trigger crawl spikes on your website. And he said that, and a lot of people went ahead and tweeted it. He says, does crawling increase prior to an algorithm update? He said it depends. We have millions of baby algorithms. Again, we talk about a little later. And they might trigger something that increases crawl rate on certain sites, but it's not a blanket thing. It depends, but sometimes, etc. But back in 2016, the same Gary said, and I ask you, I hear many say that huge spikes in crawl rates signify an upcoming algorithm update. Is this truth or a myth? And he said it's a myth. So it's just interesting. Maybe things have changed. Maybe he's just answering the question differently. but it's just interesting to see that. Now, this is somewhat a little bit mind-blowing to me. Not totally surprised, but I'm surprised they actually took it this far, where Bing is testing or piloting a content submission API, where it basically removes the requirement of you to have to go ahead and submit content of Bing actually having to crawl the web. So instead of Bing crawling this website to get this image, to get this content, the Bing content submission API will let me go ahead and say, here Bing, here is this content, here is this HTML, here are these images. Don't bother crawling this URL. I'm giving you everything you need. I'm pushing it to you via this API. You don't have to crawl. So earlier this year in February, Bing announced that they want you to go ahead and submit URLs to them so they don't have to actually do discovery, meaning crawl the web and find new URLs. Now Bing's taking it one step further and saying, all right, beyond that, submit the content directly to us so we don't actually crawl the URLs that you're telling us to actually index that are new. Instead, we will let you submit the content to us and we'll process that content for indexing after the fact. So not only are they trying to get rid of discovery, they're also trying to get rid of crawling completely, maybe. This is a pilot, again, it's very early in stages. There's no way to sign up for it yet, but I found it pretty fascinating. Google Search Console launched new video-related reports. One is the performance report for both Google Search and Google Discover. So Google Search results, Google Discover. So if your video show in Discover, it will be in a different report. And here are the reports. You can actually access it by going to Search Appearance, clicking on Videos, and that will filter it for you. And when you do that, Google will give you, under the Search Results Performance Report, the ability to filter by videos, Search Appearance videos. And you can actually see your clicks, your impressions, your CTR, your average position. You can break it down to see which pages are the most popular videos, which queries, etc. And the same thing with Discover. Of course, you don't have queries in Discover and so forth, but you do get that type of report, which is nice to see. And also, Google launched new video enhancement reports that basically tell you what issues or errors or problems you have with your video-specific pages. And with that, Google actually started releasing and emailing out Search Console messages for pages that have video errors, video markup errors. They seem to have fixed video markups for Search Console, and this is what those notices look like. Again, if you got that, you probably should look into fixing that. Google also said that Google's core updates have nothing at all to do with links. So if you were hit by a core update, going to fix your links, it's not going to make a difference. It's nothing to do with links. So stop focusing on those links. It's nothing to do with that. Google's John Muller said that links do not expire, but they may become less relevant over time. Meaning, if CNN has a story on their homepage and links to you, then in 6 months from now, that article is no longer on the homepage, but it's deep within their archives. Of course, that link's not going to be as valuable as it being on their homepage. Links become less relevant over time, less important over time, but they do not expire according to Google. Google said, they said this numerous times, but Google said again, you do not need third-party linking tools. You can rely on Google's Search Console link report. It's obviously just a sampling, but as John Muller said previously, all link tools offer a sampling. No link tool actually gives you 100% of all your links. You can definitely use other link tools if you want, if you find it easier to use, but you don't have to actually spend money on a link tool when you get hit by a manual action for penalties, or you need to do a link cleanup or a link audit according to Google. More about links, John Muller said that, somebody asked him, I have a link on this page. This page has not been crawled by Google in X years. I just got the link. How do I get Google to see this new link that I got from this page? And John Mueller's like, well, even if you do force us to crawl that page and find that link, being the fact that we don't crawl it that often, it's probably don't see it to be that relevant. And that alone will probably say, all right, that link is not valuable enough for you to spend all this time to try to force us to crawl and find that link. Pretty interesting conversation there as well. Google also said the new link attributes, the rel UGC, user-generated content, and the rel sponsored attributes, do not help you or me. It helps specifically Google understand links across the web better. So use it if you want to help Google. If you don't care about helping Google, then whatever. I assume at one point it's not going to just help Google, it's going to help us. But right now, Google's using that line. Google said the Google News application process is now much stricter, a little bit stricter to get in. So if you are applying to be part of Google News, the application process is a bit harder. There's a higher bar to reach to get into the Google News index. Google Shopping ads now have user-generated image product reviews. So if you want to go ahead and, in the images themselves, submit product reviews, you can actually do that. It's a new schema and reviewer images markup. Definitely take a look at that. It's a Google Ads markup. And Google AdSense has made the AdSense auto ads a little bit easier. They launched a bunch of new improvements around Google AdSense auto ads, which they launched, I think, a few years ago, and they keep making adjustments to it. But it makes it much more flexible and more reporting and so forth. So definitely take a look at that if that interests you. And if you missed our vlog, we posted the vlog on Tuesday because it was Yom Kippur on Wednesday. We actually didn't cover anything on Wednesday, but this was from Britney, Muller, and Maz. We talked a lot about feature snippets. It was a great interview. Hope you check it out. Just a heads up, in terms of a programming note, I am offline this Monday and Tuesday for the holiday of Sukkot. I hopefully will be scheduling stuff. I'll be writing a lot of stuff on Sunday morning and scheduling it out. Nothing's going to be real time on Monday and Tuesday. Any comment spam, any tweets, everything is completely automated. I'm not going to touch anything until I get back online after, I guess, sundown around Tuesday night, around 8 p.m. or so. So anybody celebrating Sukkot, have a happy Sukkot. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. That recaps the search news we covered off the Search Engine Roundtable. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and today is Friday, October 11th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.